Good.
Let's talk about kind of transitioning, losing a game like that. How do you guys prepare for Irvine again?
Well, preparing for Irvine again is actually probably the best break that we got, simply because listening to Pat Douglas talk in the press conference this morning, neither one of us has to go through a ton of film. We just got done playing each other. We had a week to prepare against each other. They obviously made one of the greatest comebacks I've been part of in college basketball, player, coach, anything. Give them credit. We just kind of, when as coaches went through it, looked at our team, we always say, let's not beat ourselves. Let's make your opponent beat us. And when we went through that last minute of the game, said we never turned the ball over one time. We shot 75% from the free throw line. We made 6 of 8 free throws. They made 4 spectacular shots. And so one of our concerns is always, did we take care of the basketball? We did. Did we make our free throws? We did. Yeah, we could have gone 8 for 8 and won the game. But 6 for 8, 75% is higher than the conference average. So we felt like we simply have to tip our caps to them for a spectacular comeback. We lost the energy in the overtime. And then kind of thank the basketball gods to say, well, you know, a lot of emotion there. 2 teams split with each other. Let's go to neutral court and decide who's going to continue on in the playoffs.
Do you feel like a game like that can take a toll on the players mentally and physically at all?
I don't think we're that weak, no. Basketball, we've had 100 emotions. It's like saying that Santa Barbara's great victory is going to have a toll that you're not getting ready to play the next game. The bottom line is we give ourselves 24 hours to celebrate or 24 hours to pout. Pouting's over with, the celebration's over with. We got big West Conference basketball on Wednesday.
And so speaking of the tournament, how does that affect your expectations going forward, knowing that you have beat all the teams that you could possibly face after the first round, except for Pacific, I believe, but knowing that anyone can beat anyone, how does that shape your expectations at all?
Well, Fullerton is in there as a seed too, and we could end up playing Fullerton, and they were able to get us twice. And so, just to correct your assumption on that. Again, we feel confident that we, as a team, we can play with anybody in the Big West. Obviously, the Pacific is a team that swept us, and Fullerton swept us, so that just gives you more motivation to. Those weren't games that were far out of control. Fullerton came down to a bank shot at the buzzer. So if you look at our last 6 games, which we're trying to look at is how are we hitting the tournament. In the last 6 games, we're 3-3. The 3 losses we have come from an overtime loss with a team that made 4 3-pointers in the last 48 seconds. Northridge lost in the last minute, 2 controversial calls. Fullerton we lost, and they hit a buzzer beater at bank shot, 35 feet. We won 3, beat Santa Barbara, the #1 team in the conference. We beat Hawaii, a WAC team on the road by 13. And we beat Riverside in a gut-wrenching double overtime victory down there. So if you look at how are we playing, we're playing our best basketball of the year. Our victories are great victories that we've had. Overtime scrapper, double overtime scrapper, a bracket buster victory, and a victory of the #1 team. Our losses have all come down to the last second. So momentum, parity in the conference, unbelievable parity from number 9 to, I think number 1 and 2 have separated themselves. After that, it comes down to who hit a bank shot. And the team could end up being a 9th seed out or a 3 seed tied with 4 other people. Just a matter of 2 games swing. The fortunes of one program together.
Hey, Coach Adrian Holliman in for Dave out there. How are you doing?
Great.
You look at the beginning of the season, coaches reported you to pick last, and here you ended up 6th. Looking back, how do you go forward without being like, oh, okay, cool, we beat the expectations? How do you focus on the tournament and say that's not good enough for us?
Well, it's a good question because our goals for the season were to simply qualify for the tournament, okay, as one of our goals. But our internal goals were much smaller. We were looking at, going into the season, we were last in the conference last year, field goal shooting percentage. We were last in the conference in assists, and we were last in the conference in rebounding. And those were the 3 areas we decided that we were going to concentrate on. Ironically, we tried to convince the team that if we could focus on rebounding the ball, focus on sharing the ball, and getting more assists, and you're taking better shots. Well, ironically, those stats seem to bear out. We are 5th in rebounding, and we're 6th seed. We're 6th in assists, and we're a 6th seed. and we're 6th in field goal shooting percentage. So we kind of look at this like, we weren't too far off on what we need to concentrate on to become a better team. And now the same thing as we hit playoffs, we're going to go back to the same thing. We've got to rebound the basketball. We've got to defend it and rebound it on a nightly basis. We've got to share the basketball. I think that we had some situations at the last game where we didn't share the ball well enough, often enough, and then field goal shooting percentage. And when you share it, you get a little better shot, a little bit more patience. So we're just going to focus back onto those issues of not winning and losing, but how you played the game. It may sound old, but the data supports that so much. And so, going down the road, we want to continue to become a better defense and rebounding team, a better passing team, and a better shooting team. It's kind of an old adage.
Looking ahead, you guys are to win the tournament. That's 4 tough games in 4 days.
We're going to worry about the first one.
Okay. So, but that being said, is your team conditioned enough to do that, go through all that?
I think that the thing with that is more mental conditioning than it is physical conditioning, because mentally, the drain that you have, the concentration and going through it, obviously there's physical, drain that occurs, and you might have to play your bench a few more minutes here and there, but we've played 8, 9 guys, in the last 6 games. The momentum that you have in those games, because the emotion is tied into them, that's what you hope to carry on. And we're not a full court pressing team all game, so it's not like our legs will be completely worn out with that. But the reality is we've got 40 minutes we need to worry about, and we'll get our rest. And these guys are a lot younger. Now the coaches might get tired, but the players, I think the energy will be with them, and they'll be ready to go.
Hey, Coach.